Guru Prakash Paswan, the fact that the Prime Minister, you could call it religious symbolism, but it was something to touch on the emotional quotient where Mangalsutra is concerned, where women come into question. On that front, you had a Priyanka Gandhi who came out and rebutted, if I can use that word, with the word that it was her mother who actually sacrificed her Mangalsutra for the nation, or Indira Gandhi who gave her gold during the times of war.
Preeti, a very warm good evening to you and my fellow panelists. I think there is an answer in your question as well. Priyanka Gandhi, while making any political statement, will hardly go beyond her mother or her grandmother. And that is where the problem lies. For the Congress party, the definition of Indian woman, the definition of gender justice, and the idea of women empowerment starts from the family and ends in the family. But for Prime Minister Modi, Preeti, we saw how historical women representation in the Indian Parliament and state legislative assemblies, the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, was finally passed under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. This is just beyond my comprehension. For the Congress party, for the first family, always, every time any election is happening, every time a political discourse on women is taking place, Meri maa ne ye kiya, Meri nani ne wo kiya, this is not the idea. The idea is that today, as of 2024, there are 40% more Muslim women going to higher education institution. Today, we have Mudra loan beneficiaries, out of which 75% are women. Today, there is a Swanidhi scheme of street vendors for our mothers and sisters. Today, we have a scheme of open sanitation where we have achieved open defecation free. The toilet accessibility that, as per WHO reports, has substantially reduced the expenditure on women-related health and sanitation issues. That is what matters. When Prime Minister Modi is making a commitment, he is walking the talk. From 2014 to 2024, just look at the sheer number of sex ratio. The sex ratio now has, for the first time in our history, has surpassed 1,000. There are more female as males in our society. So I think when it comes to the Bharatiya Janata Party, when it comes to Prime Minister Modi, we have walked the talk for women empowerment, gender justice, and representation of our women at the right places and the right institutions.
All right, Dr. Paswan, I want to bring in Bhavya into this conversation, but I'll ask you, so all of that you detailed, and some of it can be reflected in the numbers of which the women voted for the BJP in 2019. But using the statement in the sense that it has been made, there is a fair amount of fear-mongering in it. Do you think that's fair?
Preeti, again, a very interesting phrase used by you, fear-mongering. I think it's a personal interpretation. I think we must also view the fear-mongering which is done around the idea of constitution, Samvidhan khatre mein hai. We want 400 par so that we can amend the constitution, we will remove the constitution.
True,
so
propaganda on both sides.
Or not, I leave it to the wisdom of your viewers. No, I think fear-mongering or propaganda, you are free, you are absolutely independent to use these words. But I think for us, it is a matter of commitment, it is a matter of faith, and not a matter of politics, and absolutely not the matter of family. This is the
I'll tell you why I use fear-mongering.
I want to bring in front of your viewers.
Fair enough. It's for the voters to decide ultimately, and I'll tell you why. It's not interpretation. Why I said fear-mongering, and you are bang on, Dr. Paswan, where you say that you want the propaganda by the Congress is somewhere down the line that you want 400 so you can change the constitution. But in this way, nowhere does in the manifesto it says it's going to take that the Congress will take the gold away from the women of this country. Nowhere in that manifesto. Therefore, fear-mongering. And you're right on what the Congress says on, the constitution and fear-mongering on basis of that. I'll come back to you. Do allow me to introduce Bhavya and Narasimha Murthy in this conversation. Bhavya, the woman vote is unpredictable. It usually doesn't follow benchmarks of what we've seen, where most vote banks go. No caste, no religion, practically does what it wants. And we saw that in 2019 where, Dr. Paswan has a point where he says a huge chunk voted for the BJP. The numbers dictate that. Do you think where it comes down to Mangalsutra, it's emotional, it's religious symbolism, it will track with the woman voter?
When it comes to women voters, you said they are not, let me tell you, they're very loyal voters. Women are loyal voters and they're very smart voters as well. That's because they identify who are misogynist. For example, Narendra Modi ji, when he called the female leaders of this country as Jersey cow, 50 crore ki girlfriend, Didi, oh Didi. Women are watching that.
Preeti.
Next comes
I'll come back
BJP
to you, sir.
spokesperson is speaking about gender
I'll come back to
justice.
you.
BJP
Make your point,
spokesperson is
ma'am.
speaking about gender justice. What about the justice for Hathras rape victim? What about the justice for Kathua rape victim? What about those wrestlers who were protesting there? What about those 2 women who were paraded naked in Manipur? Did Modi ever speak about it? What, your own MLA, your own MP are rapists and sexual harassers? Did Narendra Modi speak about it? Okay, let's keep that aside. What we have done for women, you know about Karnataka's guarantees. Most of our guarantees, most of our manifesto, right now, even at the central level, are focused on women. Narendra Modi is scared. He is scared that the women of this country are smarter than he thinks, and then
But
he
Bhavya,
knows very well
Bhavya,
what
I
he has done
understand the
to the
rhetoric
women of
behind
this
what you're
country,
saying.
and the women
I
are
understand,
with us.
okay, there's rhetoric behind what you're saying, but I'll just come back to a data point.
No, you have to give me
2019.
more time because you gave
I
me
will,
more
ma'am,
time.
I'll give you equal time. I will give you equal time, please, and please hear the question out. Please hear the question out.
Yeah, please tell.
Look at the data point of 2019 where women far outvoted the BJP than the Congress. There's a data figure to it, and we're showing those figures on on our television screen, Bhavya.
Post 2019, what happened also matters, right? For the past 55 years, how women have suffered due to price rise in petrol, diesel, LPG, and the violence against women has increased by 30% in the rule of Narendra Modi. Don't you think this matters? In the past 5 years, what has happened to the women of this country is going to reflect this time. Women are making sure, we will make sure that Narendra Modi loses and learns a lesson for all the injustice that him and his political leaders have committed against the women of this country. And to just bring out these rhetorics and, to play with the emotions of women. Women are watching. They know who is with them, who believes in their
Dr.
financial
Paswan,
independence,
please respond. You wanted
who
to come
believes in their empowerment, and who just wants to play with their emotions.
All right.
That's
Dr.
Mr. Narendra Modi wants to play with emotions.
Can I get Dr. Paswan?
Congress want to empower them.
Preeti, I was patiently listening to the observation of the Congress party, and let me put this on record, let me put this very clearly, that the respect for our women, the respect for them is not a matter of whataboutery. What happened in Karnataka, I'm not going to go there. What happened in Karnataka, we recently saw a daughter of a Congress leader, she was murdered in broad daylight, and a BJP national president has to go and stand with her. Stand with the family of the aggrieved. So there is absolutely no point. I can also give you 100 such incidents where Kamal Nath said Tanj Mal, where Digvijay Singh said item girl, where your Shanti Lal Dhariwal has to say कि Rajasthan मर्दों का प्रदेश है, where your sitting chief minister of Rajasthan Ashok Gehlot has to say कि Rajasthan में rape होते हैं.
Can we just don't interrupt, ma'am? Please don't interrupt.
I did not speak when you were speaking.
Please, can I just get Dr. Paswan? I'll come back to you, ma'am. There's no point talking over each other. No, allow the same courtesy. Dr. Paswan, make your point.
No, exactly. I think this is the sheer desperation of the Congress party and their spokesperson when they are facing the same logic and the same data, they just interrupt. This is not very reflective of democracy. But my simple point, Preeti, that respect for our women folk cannot be a matter of rhetoric. It cannot be a matter of political rhetoric. So what is the status of women in Rajasthan? It is well aware fact. On your show, I challenged the Congress spokesperson. She said that there is 30% increase in women-related atrocities. Which report are you quoting, madam? Why are you doing this fear-mongering, which the word you just used, Preeti? What is your data point? On what basis are you saying? And what NCRB report said, you will be silent on Sandesh Khali. You will be silent on Sandesh Khali. What is your answer to it?
Can I get the Congress?
Stop this misinformation campaign.
Dr. Paswan,
What is your data?
Can I just get the
National Crime Reports Bureau? Please do your homework before attending any debates on women. And don't challenge me on my facts. Please go get your facts straight.